Hi, everyone. It's Jordi, and welcome back to the Origins podcast. Today, our guest comes directly from Brazil, and it's someone that is blurring the lines between the world and the real life. So, yeah, he's South American esports world champion. He's gold medalist for the FIA Motorsports game, and he recently stepped into the real world of motorsports with F4. So, please welcome directly from Brazil, Luiz Felipe Tavares. Luis, how are you?
Hi, what's up, Jordi? I'm great. Thank you for the invite, and yeah, looking forward to it.
It's great to have you here. We met for the first time last year at the Esports Awards. How was your experience a little bit with us over there?
Yeah, we did. We did. Yeah, it was amazing. The whole event was amazing. Some great food, some great drinks, a lot of nice people there. So yeah, it was a great moment.
Yeah, you are a finalist for the first time because last year was the first time we had these awards. So how do you feel then?
Amazing, amazing, amazing. I mean, I did find out like quite a little bit later than when they released it. But as soon as I found out, I was already planning my trip to go to LA. I couldn't miss it. I couldn't miss the event. So yeah, the whole experience was amazing. Just to be nominated for that was a huge moment for me. And yeah, for sure, I'm gonna remember for a very long moment.
That's great. So we are here to talk a little bit about how you get there, not about the award itself. So let's talk a little bit about. Let's jump a little bit back. Let's go a little bit back and talk a little bit about your past and how you got into motorsports. Yeah, sim racing, esports, and also like real life motorsports. So, what are your earliest memories related to motorsport? Like, was it watching racing or playing games, or you started directly? I don't know, running with a car somewhere.
It is quite a funny story. Because my dad and my mom, they used to take me to go-karting tracks just to watch races. My dad has also been a huge fan of racing since before I was born. So yeah, I had a birthday party with some Formula One teams there, but by that time I didn't like racing. I was just like following with what they did. I started liking racing just in 2010. So before that, I usually played like just a few racing games, like just once in a year. So it wasn't like my favorite thing to do. But from the first time that he got me into a karting track and I experienced the real thing, I could never go back. So from then, he just bought me a wheel. He just took me to go karting every day, not every day, but every weekend. And yeah, and I couldn't stop. And I look at me now, 26 years old, and just doing that for a living.
Nah, that's amazing. And when did you make that transition from going from go karting to sim racing?
We used to go to some rental karting tracks, and yeah, it started to get a little bit more expensive to my dad. So he found a way to entertain me, just buy me a sim racing wheel. So he got me a wheel, and yeah, I started playing games like Gran Turismo, and then moved on to the PC, the computer games, R Factor, Formula One. So yeah, he was a little bit relieved. I didn't actually stopped karting, but it got better because I found a way to keep racing from home.
Nah, that's amazing. And when you made the shift from I'm just playing at home to damn, I'm good at it, I'm gonna go pro.
It's it is quite a funny story. I was I always just played by fun, so just like some normal racing games, just like trying some different cars, like in different tracks. So with no purpose at all. But then, as soon as I got into my first championship, I remember that I found a championship, and my friend told me that I should try once. And then I had a championship that the drivers were from Spain, so I had to wake up really, really early in the morning on a Sunday to drive with them. It was
Hmm.
a racing game on R Factor, so this is a very old simulator. And then I remember that I was quite destroying the drivers there, like just putting 1 or 2 seconds in a quality lap and just destroying every race. And they kicked me out of the championship, and they told me that I needed to find someone at my level. So so from that moment, I was like, all right, I might be just a little good in that. So I started chasing and just practicing a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication, a lot of love, passion into what I do. And yeah, and then I moved into iRacing and just started from there. Just started racing some Brazilian leagues and winning championships and uh, going forwards and forwards until um, I realized that this is what I wanted to do.
Perfect. So, and then you became a sim racing pro. Started winning titles and everything. So, let's fast forward a little bit to today. So, we'd like to know, how is the life of a sim racer? So, what does a typical day look like for you as a professional? How is your training schedule? How do you build your day like around the sim racing?
Yeah, I usually wake up very early in the morning. I like to get a really good breakfast, and then I go to the gym just to do some cardio, some running, and then I come back home. I start just arranging my schedule, my agenda to make sure that I'm aware of everything that I would do throughout the day. And then when there's a championship, when there's a competitive race, then I'll separate a time for practice, just to be practicing for the races. But then, in case I'm just in a normal day, I'll just record my stuff, record my content. I'll just have my students that I have in my racing academy. So yeah, throughout the day, just doing my job, coaching, that kind of stuff, just recording some content for social media, and yeah, and then whenever I have a race or just a championship, I'll just separate the time to practice. So then I'll make sure that I deliver the results.
Amazing. That's amazing. That's a tight schedule, and really like you have your
Yeah,
agenda really
yes,
like
some days.
it's great. Yeah. So you mentioned
Yeah.
about like physical training as well. You go to the gym, you go to running. Do you think that physical and conditional training helps you inside the track as well, like on the sim racing and on everything? Do you think that impacts on your performance?
Yeah, sure, sure. It does impact on the performance because you always gotta be aware. It doesn't matter if you're just driving on the sim, because the sim is very close to real life racing. You gotta have the same amount of concentration. You gotta you gotta be aware of everything you do. So it's just if your mental state is not on the right place, especially everything that you do with your body does reflect on your mind. So if you have a bad habit and you sleep, like you have a bad sleeping schedule, that kind of stuff, it does affect on racing. So it is always good for you to have some good food, for you to be healthy, some training, yeah, going to the gym, running. So then you make sure that you have a clear head, and then that helps a lot when racing, because you can always focus on the right things, and you cannot just be distracted by other things and just not be there. You got to be aware of everything you do, especially like it in sim racing and real racing is pretty much like the same amount of concentration you gotta have.
Nah, absolutely. And yeah, and that's something that people underestimate a lot with esports players, like in general, not only sim racers, that they don't know or they don't think they take care of their bodies as well to perform better. As because at the end of the day, you are athletes as any other athlete, so you need to perform at a peak performance all the time. So that's really important for you guys to stay, yeah, ahead of everyone and to get like physically at point as mentally and prepared for everything. So, and to close a little bit about on that topic, so what would you say there is something that people may underestimate or they usually don't understand or don't know about sim racers, about sim racing in general?
That's quite a good question. The most common thing that happened is it is better now, but it happened a lot like just a few years ago. Always when you talk about sim racing, they always think that you're driving in a controller. So they ask me if I'm playing
Yeah.
on like PlayStation or Xbox, that kind of stuff. Like if I'm using a controller. So they imagine like when you put a racing game on your living room, and then like
Mhm.
like you have the chase camera above your car, and
Yeah.
you have that driving line, with the controller, like typical family stuff. So they imagine that. like they imagine a good driver doing that. So they don't imagine like the proper equipment of sim racing, like a heavy racing paddle. So braking in sim racing, you can actually get into almost like 200 kilos if you're driving on a sim. Like you can get into that. Of course, it's just preference because you can you can always change the settings, that kind of stuff. But and also we do use a lot of heavy wheels. So like our wheelbase where we do get our feedback from the track. So we have a very, very heavy wheel, which we do get a lot of information. So it is quite exhausting depending on the time you drive, like the amount of driving you do throughout the day. But yeah, so as soon as you explain that to them and you make sure that they get it, they start to realize how close and how big is the fidelity, you know, comparing to real life racing. It's just of course there is a lot of differences, especially G forces, the physical part, but just like braking, accelerating, like just steering wheel, that kind of stuff, and concentration, it is pretty much like the race car, like the real race car. So as soon as we explain that, it gets better. But the initial opinion and the initial thoughts that they have, of course, it is all about the controller. They think that we are playing a controller looking at the TV.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And yeah,
It's normal.
and approve that. Yeah, of course, but approve that you guys are like are really close to reality is that you recently went to test some Formula 4 cars, which is insane to make that jump from sim racing to Formula 4. Yeah, to from, as I said before, going from virtual to real life. So how did that opportunity came about? Like how they reach out to you, and yeah, and how it happened?
Yeah, it happened throughout the Field Motorsport Games. So we had the Field Motorsport Games 2024 was hosted at Valencia, and yeah, from like even like 1 week before, it was just about the gold medal. It was not about like an F4 test or anything. But then we got an email, and in that email we saw a very, very small line that said, "And the winner will get an F4 test." And we were like, "No." But then I started calling my friends like crazy, 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 and then just see. Of course, the pressure got bigger, so it was harder for me. I wish I couldn't like see that before the competition, because I knew that there was so much more at stake than just like the gold medal. Of course, the gold medal
Mhm.
is always important, but then when you have an F4 test, it changes everything because it is pretty much what all you dream like your whole life. So yeah, I knew about that, so I had a big, big challenge ahead of me. And yeah, as soon as I crossed the line and won the race, was just a relief. And I still can't believe that I just drove an F4 car.
Nah, that's amazing. Like that's something that just few people will be able to say that they drove a Formula 1, Formula 2, Formula 3, Formula 4. Like they just like amazing cars, and it's the dream from anyone that likes cars and wants to be involved with the outer world. Like that's the dream for everyone, and for sure, like for you to accomplish that, you need to be very proud of yourself at the end of the day.
Yeah, sure, sure. Yeah, it was a great moment. A moment that I'm gonna remember the rest of my life. Especially on how I was able to earn this. So it was a very hard earned prize for me. So
Hmm.
it matters a lot. So that's why it is so important to me, and I'm very happy that I was able to do that. And I'm looking for more
Yeah,
now. Like I want
absolutely.
more. As soon as you experience that, you want more. You know. So that's
Yeah,
tough.
you broke the ice already. You broke the ice. Now it's just from there up. Maybe we see you like
Yeah.
with 2 3 years driving up Formula One. I hope so. Don't forget to invite us to go there to watch you.
I mean, I wish, I
Yeah.
wish.
So.
I'm quite old for that. I'm 26
Mhm.
right now, but then of course, just real life racing.
Mhm.
We have tons of options for us to race, like maybe enthusiast racing, like any kind of a Porsche Cup. So we have plenty of categories.
Yeah.
So then I can drive and make that full transition from sim racing from real life racing.
Yeah. Of course. The next time is going to be interviewing the champion from sim racing and from real life racing. I'm sure.
Yeah, yeah. Looking forward to it. Yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah, me too. Me too. So, yeah, we're talking a lot about this. So, I would like to know, what were the biggest surprise or challenges when you switch it from like virtual to real life that you find from sim rig to the real cockpit? Like, what was like things that surprised you the most, or something that say, "Oh, I did not expect that to be that different"?
Um, I wouldn't say I wouldn't say I had a surprise because I was all that I was expecting, like a very fast car and high speed corners, like in every situation. So I knew that I had to prepare myself for that. Of course, it is an F4, so it is a very fast car. I know that there are some faster cars like F3, F2, F1, but then like the F4 is really really fast already. And the biggest challenge was just getting used to the seat, because you're not completely seated, like you're laying down. It's pretty much like if you're looking from above, like and you can see only like the top of the wheels. So it is very tough because you have very limited visibility. So it is different. Of course, as soon as you get into the track and then you starting to get used to it, gets better and better, and then you feel everything. So as soon as you hit the curb, like you can feel everything, like the car slides, you can feel on your butt. So yeah, it is kind of cool. I enjoy that. I really enjoy that. But speaking about like just challenges, comparing like the sim to a real racetrack, it's just a matter of you gotta be really really careful when building that confidence because you cannot go back. So you cannot press exit, so you gotta be aware of everything you're doing. You gotta be careful and step by step keep growing and growing. You cannot just risk something and then you can just reset and go to the pits again. So that's the big difference.
Nah, amazing. I mean, yeah, I feel like as you said, feeling the car, feeling everything, and that difference, like when you can only see like the above of the wheels and all of that, must be uh crazy. Like that must be a crazy feeling, to be honest. And yeah, I mean, we
Yeah.
talked about challenges and surprise, but now I want to know like how much of the sim racing experience actually helped you on the real track. Like when you said, "Oh, I know that," like I've done that before. Like you had that moment.
Yeah. It was very familiar to me. Very, very, very familiar. Especially the handling. So the handling is really, really close to a simulator. The way you feel like the car is oversteering, understeering, like it is sliding. You can predict that. So you're already used to it because of the sim, because the sim gives you that feeling and gives you that confidence and that learning curve. So then you can properly know how to do it. So yeah, I was very 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 comfortable with it, with the balance of the car. Of course, it's just a matter of getting more and more confidence. But then I could see and I was aware of everything that the car was doing. So it was quite a fun experience. I had a really really good time and I was very very comfortable inside the car.
Nah, that's amazing. Now, let's talk about a little bit your the FIA motorsport games. Do you say FIA or do you say FIA? How do you say that correctly?
uh FIA sounds better. Of course, like depending on the day, I say FIA, but then when I'm speaking like somewhere, I just say FIA. Yeah, sounds
Okay.
better.
Oh, perfect. So I'm not in the wrong here, at least. I'm not into very much sim racing, but I like to learn a lot. So you are the expert here. So just wanted to know was the correct way to say it. So talking about the FIA Motorsport Games, it probably must have been an honor for you to represent Brazil, our country, at the end of the day. So what was the atmosphere like competing on that level?
It's crazy, crazy. Oh my God. I wish I could just go back there and just like feel again because we had so many people there, so many drivers, and I remember like taking a picture there, and I will send you a picture later. And then like we were kind of
Sure.
some stairs there at the Valencia Museum, and we had like more than I think like 2,000 or 3,000 drivers, like something like that, like with the teams and that kind of stuff.
Crazy.
So and like a lot of people from different nations, like different countries, continents. So you could see like some very different cultures, like languages. It was so cool, so cool. I remember being there. It was a very very nice experience to live. I'm grateful for the opportunity that I had, and of course happy that I was able to get the most out of it. But yeah, the whole experience there was amazing. Like just some very good drivers all around the world. Yeah, what a huge moment there. What a huge competition. We had more than 63, I think it was 63 teams, countries competing in F4 esports. So it
Wow.
was really, really tough. But yeah, I'm happy that I was able to achieve that dream, and I'll be remembering for a very long time.
I mean, from 2,000 people from all around the world, you are the one. That's crazy. Like, that's insane. So,
Yeah, yeah, that's crazy. That's
the
crazy.
yeah. So your gold medal win at the Spa-Francorchamps, Champs, I think that's how you say the name of the track, was really like a close
Yeah.
one. So can you walk us a little bit through that race and how was it? How was to handle the pressure at the end of the race and everything?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Whoa. That race was the probably the hardest one that I ever had. Because these cars, you just cannot like just pull away, you know? Even like if you are like 2 or 3 tenths faster, it doesn't matter. Of course, I was never going to be like 2 or 3 tenths faster because we had plenty of really good drivers there. But then even besides that, the slipstream with those cars is so huge. So the guy just going like towards you in like after turn one, he can just get passed by you like before the end of the straight. So we had plenty of slipstream. So a lot of positioning changes there was really, really, really tough. There was a moment that I was in third, so I fall back to third, and then I started like to overtake again and following the cars and then getting back to first, and then the guys behind me started fighting. So yeah, it was really, really close. Opening the last lap, I tried to get a little bit of a gap and just pushing the faster that I could there, just try to pull a gap in the middle section there of the track. But then they started fighting before the end of the first straight. So that helped me quite a bit because they went side by side into the Les Combs, which is like the S's after the Arouge straight. And then yeah, I think I had like 5 tenths or 6 tenths, and then I was pushing, and even though like throughout going into the last straight, going after Blanchimont, the slipstream was just so strong that Martin was able to reach out to me again, and then he tried the move throughout the outside. I just threw the car. I wasn't going to let him through, so yeah, I was just or I was leaving there winning the gold medal and the F4 test, or I was not getting to the podium at all. So, yeah, worked out perfectly. I'm very happy. It was very, very risky, but then it paid off. But yeah, it was a very tough race. Just switching positions and knowing that everything that you done before that wasn't important at all. That everything that mattered was only in that final race. So yeah, it was quite a pressure. I had to be very careful not to damage the car because it is very easy to damage those cars in sim racing. And yeah, worked out perfectly. I had, of course, it's not just dedication and hard work, but it is also a little bit of luck. So I had the luck when I needed to, and yeah, I'm glad that I was able to get that. I still cannot believe it. Even if I watch the race today, like I still get like goosebumps, you know. So it's huge for me.
Yeah, just send us some highlights from the race so we can play here as well for everyone to see because that would be amazing.
Yeah, for sure. I will. I will for sure.
Of course. So we've talked a little bit about your past. We've talked, of course, about your present. So now I want to know a little bit about your future because now that you've stepped into real life racing, so what can we expect from you now? Where do you see yourself in the next few years? Are you going to go more into real life racing? Are you still in sim racing? How do you see yourself? Because you still have a lot of trophies to lift.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm 26. I'm old for like single seater racing, but I'm not old at all. Like I'm still young, you know. So I have plenty of things to do. I want to integrate into real life racing, even though now that I experienced how it is, and I really want to do it. So yeah, I'm going to start chasing that. I love sim racing. It's been my home. It's been my everything since I was young. So of course, I'll never stop sim racing. I want to do some things with that. So I want to continue with the coaching, maybe a master class, maybe just doing some more stuff to help the sim racing community to grow. And yeah, but I'm chasing real life racing also because this is a dream that I have. And like I had this dream when I was younger. Of course, when you want to become a real life racer, you want to go to Formula One, that kind of stuff. When you're 10, when you're
Mhm.
like 8 years old, 10 years old, you want to have that dream. But and it actually got a little bit uh like deleted from my mind for a while. But now that I got so much into sim racing, that I got that experience in real life racing, that I think that I have more to give. I have a new chapter in my life that I want to begin, and I think that I'm ready to do it. So yeah, I'll just chase any opportunity that I have in real life racing. I want to do everything. I just love racing. Can be online, can be completely virtual or real life racing. I just want to keep chasing that.
It's amazing. So you've talked a little bit about your coaching a couple of times during your talk. So what is that you do exactly? Like, do you teach other people to do sim racing, or do you help other players to become better, or other like competitors? How does it work a little bit? Can you explain to us?
Yeah, sure. So yeah, we do have a coaching academy. So I do have some drivers to grow their
Hmm.
potential and get better. Just guiding them to the right place on how to become a really, really good driver for you to prepare yourself to championships, that kind of stuff. So yeah, all my experience, everything that I have like throughout, I would say 15 or 16 years of racing. I always try to deliver that to them and just getting them to be better at racing and improving. So I have tons of students that had some amazing results with just a couple sessions. So yeah, I love to do that. I want to continue to do that, and also start expanding my options about racing into my career.
Nah, that's amazing. So I have like three, let's say, fire questions, but you can develop on them a little bit because I want to know the reason why from each one of them. So let's start with the first one. What's your favorite sim racing track?
Favorite sim racing track?
Can
It's,
be
it's
real
going to be
life as
funny,
well.
but no, it is going to be funny, but it is Spa-Francorchamps.
Oh, because you won there.
So the
Of
one that
course,
I
enjoy
won,
your
yeah,
title. Title
yeah,
can.
yeah, and it has been my favorite track since I was younger. And as soon as I saw that the FIA
Hmm.
Motorsport was going to be hosted into Spa-Francorchamps, I was very happy because it is a track that I'm very used to. So yeah, it is my favorite track for sure.
That's really nice to close. Like, let's say that's close the circle when you start like and everything with that track, and then you are able to be world champion that track. That must be an
Yeah,
amazing feeling.
absolutely. Yeah.
So the next one, I kind of think I might know the answer, but let's say, what do you
You
say?
know the answer.
Who is
You
your?
know the answer.
I mean, you cannot be Brazilian, like racing, and do not be him. But I'll leave you. I'll let you say it. So, who is your real life racing hero?
Ayrton Senna.
Ah, not expected.
Not
Nah, I mean,
expected at all.
now, did you watch
Uh,
the show on Netflix about him?
Yeah, I did. I did. I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed it because they were very cautious with some very good details that I didn't know
Hmm.
before. So of course it was not many chapters, but then it was very well interpreted. So I really enjoyed that. Yes, I liked it a lot.
Nah, amazing. And there is any particular reason why it's him, or it's just because he's the idol of a nation?
Um, yeah. There's some particular reasons. Of course, the hero, as we consider him a hero, but not only that, just his dedication, just him as a person. Because he was not just a good driver, he was also a good person. So, just helping people. So, uh, helping people in Brazil that need it and still needs today. So you have an institution for kids to help kids. that he started back then, and then his family continued. So it is not about, of course, what he did on track, which is amazing, but also as a person off the track. So that's why I admire him, because he had a big heart and a great person that feared God. So he was very, very close to God. So that's a person that I can say that I'm inspired by.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, as you said, he's the hero of a nation. What he did, like, and even for F1 as well. Like, if you hear a lot of top F1 drivers like Lewis Hamilton himself, they always say that he's one of like his idols, and he changed the game a lot in a lot of ways. So, yeah. And the last one
Yeah.
of the fire question, let's say, do you have any pre-race rituals, or the way you prepare for a race? Do you prepare yourself somehow, like, for a race?
There's a ritual that I don't do it often, but it is one that whenever I do it, I get some really good results. Is that whenever I'm stepping into sim racing, I like to order. I think you might know it. It's called açaí here in Brazil.
Yeah,
So
of course,
so
of course.
so we like to get so I like to get an açaí before the race because it
Okay.
tastes nicely and gets it is a great energy source. So yeah, that's a very good ritual that I have. But I don't do it often. Like it is not every race, but then whenever I had the opportunity to, of course, I'll do it. I really like doing that.
Nah, I mean, acai, like, it's trendy as well nowadays with all the fitness culture and everything, because as you said, it's healthy and gives you a lot of energy. So that's a great ritual. Like, that's a great one to have.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a good one.
So a little bit to close everything, to sum up everything. So, if someone would like to pursue your career or do something similar as you've been doing those years, what advice would you give the person?
I would say just respect the process because we always want to copy, like when we are starting, we always want to copy drivers, what they're doing. So whenever you see a driver braking late, you want to brake late as he's doing it, but you don't kind of understand why everything that he's doing is happening. So just respect the process. Trying to learn is just not about like the practical part, like not about just practicing. It's also like theoretical stuff. So you gotta be aware of everything that happens with the car, like the handling. So just respect the process. It takes time to get better and like just improving your technique. So just don't try to overstep it. You will get better. Like sooner or later, you'll get better and faster and faster. So just try to enjoy the moment and always treat sim racing or any kind of racing at all as an enjoyment, because we as competitors we do find it quite stressful sometimes. So yeah, just enjoying sim racing because you love cars, you love racing cars. It's just number one thing for you to be successful. You gotta have fun first of all, and then the competition comes later.
Yeah, that's the key for most of things in life. Have fun first, and then the results come later. So, Luis, for everyone who wants to find you, who wants to know more about you, who wants to follow you on tournaments, what are your social media, YouTube channel, where they can find you?
Sure, sure. So social media, Instagram, it is you can find me out as Tavares Racing, so Tavares Racing, and then on YouTube is also the same thing, so Tavares Racing also. So I started uploading a couple of videos there. I'll keep going. I kind of want to do that, just creating content, for YouTube, like just having more fun, not only looking into the competitive side, but just playing other simulators, like just enjoying like the small stuff, like just having fun with those kind of things that I might have forgotten because I was too worried of like just too worried about being competitive that I forgot how
Mhm.
funny it can be when you just enjoy the moment. So yeah, I want to create some content. So if you want to find that out, just subscribe to me on YouTube, Tavares Racing, and also Instagram, Tavares Racing again, and that's it.
Perfect. We will leave everything behind here below on the description of the video. So Thank you very much, everything. Thank you very much, Luis, for taking your time and being here with us with our tight schedule now. I hope to see you soon at another sim racing, not real life track on both of them, and hopefully someday we're gonna see you in person, like maybe here in Barcelona near where I live, and in Momelo, just riding, just racing, and yeah, and winning our titles. Thank you very much, everyone. That has been another great episode. See you soon. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Thank you. Thank you very much.